रॉबर्ट वाड्रा मामले में चंडीगढ़ में एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस चल रही, सीधे आपको लिए चलते हैं इसी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में।
Revenue receipts comprise of tax revenue, non-tax revenue, share in union taxes and Government of India grant and aid. The figures are again flashed before you. There has been an increase in the receipts under all categories. Revenue receipts increased by 13% over the previous year. Tax revenue increased by 9% and non-tax revenue by 6%. The major increase was in respect of Government of India grants and aid, which increased by 76%. However, tax revenue fell short by 3.8% and non-tax revenue fell short by 70% of the targets fixed by the 13th Finance Commission for the year. GOI directly transferred 2308.06 crores to state implementing agencies during the year, which were not included in the state budget and finance account. Revenue receipts of 929.53 crores collected under Haryana Rural Development Fund were not credited to the consolidated fund of the state during 11-13. Now we come to the expenditure of the state government. During 13-14, the total expenditure was 46598 crores, comprising of revenue expenditure 41887 crores, capital expenditure 3935 crores, and loans and advances 776 crores. 90% of the total expenditure was revenue expenditure and 8.44% was capital expenditure. Non-planned revenue expenditure was 31735 crores, which was higher by 43% vis-a-vis the projection of the 13th Finance Commission. And four components, salary and wages, interest, pensions and subsidies, constituted 87% of your non-planned revenue expenditure. 92% of total subsidies were for the energy sector. Committed expenditure, the expenditure of 21695 crores on salary, interest and pension payments was higher by 1445 crores, that is 7% vis-a-vis the projections by the government in its fiscal correction part. And this consumed 57% of the revenue receipts against 36% projected in 13th Finance Commission. Regarding returns on investments, this was insignificant. The average return varied between 0.02 to 0.17% in the past 5 years, whereas the government paid an average interest of 9.22 to 9.86% on its borrowings. And during 13-14, a major portion of the investments was in the form of investment in equity shares of various power corporations. These are the fiscal liabilities of the state. They comprise of internal debt, loans and advances and public account liabilities, which stood at 76263 crores on 31st March 2014. Fiscal liabilities increased by 17.66%. The ratio of fiscal liabilities to GSDP also showed an increasing trend. Payment of interest on the fiscal liabilities was 5850 crores and liabilities at 76263 crores was higher than the limit projected in the MTFPS and FCP for the year 13-14. As I had initially told you, there are 3 chapters. I now come to the second chapter. This gives a grant-wise description of appropriations. It elaborates on financial accountability and budget management, deficiencies in working of treasuries, and outcome of review of selected grants. There was excess expenditure of 329.67 crores in 2 grants which required regularization, and an excess expenditure of 428.10 crores in grants relating to 12-13 also required regularization. Supplementary provisions aggregating 542.29 crores obtained in 20 cases, these are basically cases 50 lakhs and above, during the year proved unnecessary as the expenditure did not come up to level of the original provisions. In grant number 6, the supplementary provision of 229.29 crores proved inadequate, leaving an excess expenditure of 110.38 crores. In 20 cases, the expenditure of 516.46 crores was incurred without